now enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises, we they here they run to. Move it up. I blame it on the religious leaders, I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers, people will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jello. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come up. It is very close and they feel more. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. But now them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Kiwe wesu garani orianja ninem oria ninem keprita kwa samado dendo nihi no bu na ngi bonye na agwo oria anyi we na akpoku gije onwe gi busumele nke ndi aga kiwe mere anyi ebere ka akwa ka anyi na ebe ku de ka anyi na asu we bia ni rogi kiwe meka Biafra bụ eguzosi ike ka anyi we ni petamazu nya ha so go tutana sopro na ejamma site na ebige bi maro na ebige bi ise mama deregi chineke.
You don't know what it means. Most of us do not understand what it means to be a Biafran. You have not seen anything yet. I was kidnapped. I was beaten. I was spat at. My clothes were ripped from my body. Women urinated and poured it on me because of Biafra, so that they may humiliate me to such a point that I will not talk about Biafra anymore. They videoed me. Masop has a video of me where they were beating me, dragging me on the floor, tearing my clothes because I spoke the truth. That did not stop me from talking about
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me once again this evening. I appreciate everyone who has made it this evening. Please kindly like and share the program to all platforms, share to family and friends, share to those that are close to you. Make sure you invite somebody to join us on this very evening program. It is a pity we are not able to anchor our morning program due to some issues. We are not able to come on our morning program, but that does not mean that we're going to relent. We will continue to do what we have to do. We will continue to push the battle, and we will continue to engage the enemies as much as we can. They try their best to stop us, but we will not allow them to stop us. No matter how they try, no matter the angle they come from, we will never allow them to stop us. So I appreciate everyone that have made it this evening. I'm not going to take much of your time. You know my evening program is not normally long. So we're going to try to cut it short as much as we can. And we will continue to do what we have to do. So I appreciate everyone who has connected. Like and share. If you have not yet liked the program, like and share. Invite someone to join. It's a very important program. As you know, this time is not the time to run away. It is not the time to reduce what you are doing. Instead, you increase it. It is not the time to look away. It's the time for us to be very, very careful as things are unfolding. A lot of things are unfolding in these few days, and more are going to unfold. So we must not lose focus. We must continue to focus and continue to speak on the issues at hand. And that I will continue to do. Remember, in this platform, we don't come here to attack anybody. We don't come here to castigate anybody. We do not come here to attack any race or religion. We don't come here for any propaganda or blackmail. Neither do we come here for saga. My main purpose of trying as much as possible every day to broadcast is to make sure that the voice of the Biafran people is heard. To make sure we tell our story and to make sure that very story of the Janjaweed they are telling against, or that lie does not stand. I am doing my own part, and I expect you to do your own part. Every one of us have a responsibility. Don't leave your responsibility for me. I am not going to leave mine for you. There is something you can do, whether young or old, male, female, poor or rich, leader or follower. There is something you can do. Pick up your own assignment and continue to do that. And Chukwu Okike we continue to bless you. Please share this information so that others can join us. As always, you know, I have already posted the link. So if you want to make a contribution, you can equally join us and make a contribution. And as you all know, since after the pronouncement of their fake judgment on our Prime Minister, which we reject in totality, a lot of reactions have been coming from right, left, and center. Many people have been reacting. Many people have been saying a lot of things, and many people have also been acting on different forms. Many revelations are coming. More things are being revealed. And I would like us to dig into those informations that are coming and some things also that we see, some things that we feel are to be discussed. There are certain other things that we need to look into. That is why we are here. So that is why in this very evening program that we have come today, this evening program, we are going to discuss on a very important topic, which says injustice in Finland. Injustice in Finland. How false Nigerian claims are being used against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Injustice in Finland. How false Nigerian claims are being used against Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. Every one of us, since all this, since the Finland court passed their judgment, I know many of us have been struggling to lay their hand on the informations to get actually what was written, how it was said, and what was said. And people are interpreting it in their own way. It is important and very good that every one of us should always make a research. We make a research to try and find out what was said, how it was said. It is very important. Very, very important. Reason why they took the decision they took. It is very important. You look at the content of the verdict that they gave, and you also look into what is happening today. You look at the attitude of people who claim to be fighting for Biafra, and also the attitude of the people who claim to be fighting along with Master Simon Ekpa, and those who claim to love him and those who hate him. People who claim to love Biafra, this is the time to look into that. So, because we cannot shy away from what has happened, what Finland did is a very big shock to every Biafran. It's a big blow to every Biafran, and it is a direct attack to every single Biafran, both you and me. The only Biafran that is not concerned, that is rejoicing, is that person who is not interested in Biafra, but is interested in saga propaganda and blackmail of his brothers and sisters. Those who are occupied by envy and jealousy, those who did not define Biafra for themselves. Every person that defined Biafra for themselves, they are all angry about this very verdict. Everybody, you see, this very thing that happened have taught me a lot of lessons. I have known a lot before, but this one have increased my knowledge about the Biafran people. What transpired, this very judgment have given me more light on how to see Biafrans, how to identify Biafrans, what they want and who they are. Let me tell you, nobody is above mistake. Nobody is above mistake. Biafrans are Republicans, but in that our Republican nature, truth must be there. If you are being Republican in wickedness, in hatred, and in deceit, that is arrant nonsense. That your Republicanness is one of the problems we are facing today. We know that Biafrans are Republican, but in that your Republican nature, you must have humanity in you. And you must have, how do I explain it? This project of Biafra is something that concerns every single one of us, every one of us. I bet you, including the politicians, though the politicians cannot be able to exercise their own feelings in the public. They cannot speak the way we speak. They cannot act the way we act. But I bet you, the quest for self-determination, is a quest that every single Biafran is pursuing. But the only time you can identify people who are not in line with the quest of the Biafran people is in this kind of period. In this type of period. When you look at what is happening, the reactions that are coming in this sentence of Master Simon Ekpa, when you look at the reaction that are coming, you can be able to identify people one after the other. Not by group. I am not talking about group now. You can identify individuals, their attitude, their personalities, and what they want. You can be able to know those who genuinely were seeking for Biafra. Any human being created of Chukwu Okike Abiano, born in Biafra land, in the old southeastern region, that is part of this very cause of Biafra. If you are not in the cause of Biafra, it's a different ballgame. If you are not in the quest of Biafra, you're not joining us to speak, you're not talking about Biafra, it's a different ballgame. I can pardon you. You are entitled to do anything you want. But for you to project yourself as somebody who needs Biafra, and you see this very verdict and you are rejoicing, you are worse than the devil. You are worse than the devil. And I hope Biafrans are watching. When I say Biafrans are watching, I don't care the party where you belong. I don't care who you are supporting. I don't care under which umbrella you are fighting for Biafra. What I care about is your report on the attack against Biafrans. Injustice against one is injustice against all. Any human being, any Biafran that claims to be a human being and is rejoicing at the sentence pronounced on Master Simon Ekpa, that person is not worthy to live. And such people are not in this struggle and will never, ever be. I saw a video of one comrade. This was a comrade that we were all together. I have had many broadcasts with him. We have done so many things together in terms of broadcast. And even when Master Samuel was there, this comrade was with us in Master Samuel, and later he got it wrong and he left. Why did he leave? He left because he misinterpreted the actions of Master Simon Ekpa. Because he felt that there was something that he was expecting Master Simon Ekpa to say in the way he wants Master Simon to say it, and Master Simon did not say it. And he misunderstood Master Simon Ekpa, and he began to attack Master Simon Ekpa. But to my greatest surprise, out of all those people who say they are supporting DOS, I was surprised to see him. He is the only one who is not rejoicing at the kidnap of Master Simon Ekpa. At this wicked pronunciation of judgment, this our brother came out and he rejected it, and he even began to attack this criminal DOS. And he was asking them, who in his right senses will rejoice that somebody was tagged a terrorist because of Biafra, and you are rejoicing. You are rejoicing. In fact, when I listened to that brother, I was really surprised. Because in the normal sense, the way people do is that when you are not with them, when something happens to you, oh, they clap and rejoice. Oh, your own chapter have closed. Oh, they will shout it. That brother came out and came after the people who he was with, people who are with him. I can say in the camp where he is, he isolated himself and he rejected rejoicing for the calamity that fell upon our Prime Minister. That is how to know people who are human beings. That is how to know people who have conscience. Though you might have diverse ideas, we might not agree all the time. It is our nature. We don't agree. Sometimes we disagree. But in that disagreement, don't let your humanity die. In that disagreement, do not allow your humanity to die. When I saw the video of that brother, I was so impressed. I was so impressed. I'm not going to mention his name because in my platform I don't mention people's name. But most of you must have seen the video and you might know who I'm talking about. He made a video and he stood against the Department of Saboteur, those idiots that call themselves DOS that are rejoicing. And he was asking them, how can you be saying you are expecting freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And you heard that Mazi Simon Ekpa has been sentenced in Finland and you are clapping. It means you have never been serious, you are insane, and you are not looking for Biafra. And you are one of those looking for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be jailed. This is a plain truth that nobody will run away from. But we see our own fellow brothers and sisters clapping and rejoicing because Mazi Simon Ekpa, a sentence was pronounced on him. Even though they know that sentence cannot stand, that he still has an appeal, they are rejoicing. It is so sad. But I'm impressed. Sometimes when I see some people, the way they do things and the way they behave, I still have hope. There is hope that we will definitely succeed. When I saw the video of that our brother and the way he spoke vehemently and rejected this very verdict, even though he is not in good terms with Master Simon Ekpa. And he made a very important point, which I have said before. That very first day, I said it, that any idiot that think that this very judgment is just for Master Simon Ekpa, you are deceiving yourself. You are deceiving yourself. This is a precedent kept for Nigerian government to use. Nigerian government will definitely capitalize on this to issue whatever judgment they want to issue. We have been able to make the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu blown out. Case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become an international case. And before any decision will be taken, they have to consider so many things. They have to consider so many things on international ground because it will backfire. But today, Finland have created a landing space for Nigeria. This very judgment is not about Master Simon Ekpa. It is about you. It is about me. It is about Biafra. And Nigerian government sponsored this very verdict, orchestrated this very verdict, planned it out, and it's working out for them. When we saw this, instead of you to get angry and shout on top of your voices and react, you relax. Oh, Master Simon Ekpa, that one that used to dance, he thinks he's untouchable. Now he has been touched. You think it's about him? You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't know why somebody can come and say that I love Master Simon Ekpa. I love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You say you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released unconditionally. You say you want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free. And you are there. Somebody is being sentenced for self-determination and you are happy. Oh God. Somebody is being sentenced for self-determination and you are happy. You must be insane. You must be insane. You must be insane. The trial of our Prime Minister, Mazi Samuel Ekpa, is a lesson. One lesson you ask yourself, do you know that in that very sentence, Finland say that the sentence was pronounced based on evidence provided by Nigerian government, not by their own investigation, not by their own inquiry. Finland pronounced that very judgment based on evidence given to them by Nigerian government, a government we know that is a terrorist government. I am not saying it. A government that we know that all their security apparatus have Boko Haram members in it, terrorists in it. A country that we know that are corrupt more than corruption itself. A country that we know that their human rights record is zero, absolutely zero. And yet, Finland boldly, the judges say that they relied on information from Nigeria. The judges say they rely on information from Nigeria. How can any human being on this planet Earth, how can any sensible government with the record of Nigerian government, a government that is involved in kidnapping, a government that is involved in so many fraud, a government that does not obey international law, a government that does not obey its own law, a failed government, you rely on their information to jail your citizen? There is no other reason than a shopping for economic interests. A shopping for economic interests. That is the only reason that very judgment was passed. That is the only reason that judgment was passed. For any human being, you call yourself a Biafran, an Igbo Biafran for that matter, you are laughing, you are rejoicing. Some of them are so shameless that they open their platform. They put camera with their dirty mouth and teeth, and they are laughing and clapping, dancing. That our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, has been sentenced by a fraudulent court in Finland. And what are the basis of the sentence? They sentenced Mazi Simon Ekpa based on information given to them by Nigerian government. How can Nigeria be a judge in their own case? Even in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in their own territory, they have not been able to prove anything because that is in Nigeria. Evidence are so overwhelming that you can provide. But for Finland Finland based their judgment on only the information given to them by Nigerian authorities. What information do you expect from Nigerian authorities? People that don't know one Biafran to see the light of the day. These are people that has no presence in Biafran land. These are people that are destroying the life of the Biafrans even as we speak. These are people that their Boko Haram military, their terrorist military have declared war on Biafra, and they are fighting that war even as you're watching me. The war is going on in Okiwe. It is going on in so many parts of Anambra State and Imo State. And you think that you base your judgment on this same government. This is a shame. It's a very big shame. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I have never seen a bias like this. Finland basing their judgment on Nigerian lies. Nigeria has lied on several occasions against the Biafrans on this very quest for freedom. Not once, not twice, not thrice, and even as we speak, they are still lying. Finland decided to criminalize self-determination because of information that was given to them by Nigeria. And some idiots are rejoicing. Some idiots are still there. They say they are fighting for that same self-determination that Finland have criminalized. Finland have just given Nigeria a landing space. That when they are passing any judgment, they will refer to Finland judgment. That the social time and social time that Master Simon Ekpa was jailed in Finland. And those idiots are happy, knowing fully well that Mazen Nandekano is coming in court next month. You say you love Mazen Nandekano. The worst is that even a lawyer, a criminal lawyer. Now you understand, when Mazen Simon was exposing this white lawyer, some of you don't understand. When Mazen Simon Ekpa was exposing this white lawyer, many of us thought it was a joke. White lawyer who was involved, indicted in everything that has to do with the kidnap of Mazen Nandekano. He was involved. In fact, Ifeanyi Ejiofor benefited from the kidnap of Mazen Nandekano. He benefited. And he is part of those who destroyed the agitation, the self-determination that we are in. He made sure he destroyed it and did so many things to put a stop to it. Today, when Mazen Simon was around, Mazen Simon put a stumbling block, put a stop to all those obstacles and hindrances. But today, in the absence of Mazen Simon, he's writing a epistle applauding Finland government for jailing a man who is fighting for self-determination. And you are in Nigeria asking for a man fighting for self-determination to be released. You see how idiotic they are. That's why I say it is not easy. It is not difficult anymore for you to know those who are genuinely fighting for Biafra. It is no longer easy. It's not difficult. Maybe before it was difficult, but today it is no longer difficult. Self-determination remains a right of every single human being on the planet Earth. Self-determination is your right. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It does not matter what they do. Self-determination remains a right of every Biafran. Anybody that rejoices at the kidnap of Simon Ekpa by Finland court, anybody that rejoices, these are the people who are warming up to make sure that Mazen Nandekano is jailed. Some of you don't know why the judges are running away for the case of Mazen Nandekano. You don't know why they are having so much postponement. The case of Mazen Nandekano have become so international and eyes are there. Nigeria, with their record of abuse of human rights, illegality, They don't have any basis upon which they can be able to jail Nnamdi Kanu. No. But today, Finland have set a precedent for them. Finland have set an example for them. That when their judge will come and read, they will refer to Finland, and you will think it's a joke. Master Simon Ekpa was fighting for self-determination. It doesn't matter what you think within your hatred and your wickedness. It does not matter what you call him. He was fighting for self-determination. And that is not a crime. That is not a crime. There is no way you will come and incriminate self-determination of Master Simon Ekpa, and you are, in the other hand, asking for the freedom of Master Nnamdi Kanu. Are you not insane? Only fools do that. Only fools do that. But of course, I know some of them, their wickedness have blinded them that they no longer know 1 + 1. What our Prime Minister was doing was just and right to do. He did the right thing. Fighting for the freedom of his people, to secure his people and save them. And the United Nations have made it clear that every human being has that right of self-determination. The United Nations, unanimously, every one of them agree that everybody have the right to self-determination. Everybody, we have right to life. There is nobody on the planet Earth that doesn't know the situation of Nigeria today. I saw a video that was made by Dr. Mazanga. If you have not seen it, I wasn't able to get it. I'm going to get it and play it hopefully by tomorrow. You will hear what Dr. Mazanga said on his video. Those that care and those who matter, those who knows what self-determination is, are talking. They are talking. Nigeria is a failed state. And the only thing any sensible human being could do in that contraption is to try to save his head. That was what Master Simon Ekpa was doing. That was what he was doing. To separate his own people, secure them and save them, build a nation where people can be safe and protected. And Finland, for economic interests, they decided to criminalize self-determination that the whole world came together and approved. Self-determination that the international law approved. Finland criminalized it because of their own selfish interests. I want you to watch this video. I want you to watch this video. When you see this video, you will see where the whole world, all the world leaders came together and they agreed that self-determination is the right of everybody on this planet Earth, regardless your color, regardless your angle, regardless what you believe. Self-determination is your right. And I want you to pay attention to this very video I'm about to play and listen carefully.
United States of America is a steadfast supporter of the principles that people have a right to choose their own form of government.
Did you hear that? People have the right to choose their own form of government. People have the right to choose their own form of government. I want you to pay attention.
Clear. There is no room for double standards. International law must be protected always and everywhere without any ambiguity. In Ukraine, in the Middle East, and everywhere in the world, this is our global agencies and world.
There is no double standard. No double standard in international law. Every human being must be protected wherever they are. Everybody must be protected. And listen to this dead man.
We need to remind ourselves of the principles that led to the founding of the United Nations. Among those are peaceful coexistence and self-determination of peoples.
And there was hope.
Did you hear that late Buhari say self-determination? That people has the right to self-determination. These are prime ministers and presidents of countries. Every single one of them agree that self-determination is your right. You have the right to make your choice where you want to be, how you want to live, on what you want to be, the government you want to belong, and what you want to practice. This is what Master Simon Ekpa was pursuing. Nothing else. This is what Master Simon was going for.
And some are also hoping now that territorial concessions to the aggressor would bring peace. History has proved that giving up territory for peace has too often led and will lead to further aggressions.
Did you hear it? History has shown that giving up your territory, giving up your land does not bring peace. Instead, it will bring more chaos. Kaja Kallas, former Prime Minister of Republic of Estonia, that history has shown that giving up your territory, giving up your land to the Janjaweed, giving up your land to anybody or your territory does not bring peace. Instead, it will bring more chaos. This is what the whole world have known and seen. But today, they are forcing us to give our land to the Janjaweed to take over. Master Simon Ekpa said, no, you are not going to take our territory. You are not going to take our land. We will defend our land. And Finland decided to jail him because of that. Is Finland not a part of the international laws? Didn't Finland sign up for these international laws?
To achieve peace, we will have to learn from our own mistakes. Failure to do so would bring a colossal cost in human lives across the globe.
The solution of a conflict, in our view, has to be, like some of my colleagues have already said, based on a comprehensive, just and lasting enduring peace, founded on the principles of international law and the United Nations Charter. Emerging economies.
International law, do they respect international law? So, in the case of Master Simon Ekpa, who was jailed for self-determination, where is the international law? Where is the respect for international? Where is the Geneva Convention? Where is the laws of the world? Where is the United Nations? Where are they? Where are they? That somebody is to be jailed for self-determination. Where is the international law?
With the goal of finding a path to peace, Canada will always be a strong voice for peace, democracy, freedom, and the international rule of law.
Canada, proving their own. Canada identified Nigeria as a terrorist country. That is why a high court in Canada declared the ruling parties in Nigeria as terrorist organization. When you look at the judgment of the Canadian court, it is not far-fetched. You don't even need to, in that case, you don't even need to travel to Nigeria for you to know. The information is available online. You can see the information with the Amnesty International. You can see the information with other bodies. You can see it everywhere about the criminality and the atrocities of Nigerian government. And Canada pronounced them a terrorist government. But yet, Finland, based on information from a terrorist government, is jailing a man for self-determination. Where is the international law? Where is the international law?
Chile, my country, as a small nation in the south of the world, with a population of 20 million inhabitants, understands that only adherence to international law and the protection of human rights can ensure peace.
Protection of human rights and adherence to international law. Nigeria that gave Finland information don't obey any international law. Nigeria that Finland is working with, lying on bed with. Nigeria that gave Finland information to jail Master Simon Ekpa does not obey international law anywhere. They don't. It is not just that I'm saying it. Go and verify. The same Nigeria started kidnapping since 1980s. Kidnap of Mazen Nandekano was not the first kidnap. The kidnap of Mazen Nandekano is not the first kidnap. They are lying against other government of the world. It's not the first time. They just lied against Japan, and Japan came and rebuked them. They kidnapped Mazen Nandekano, tortured him for 8 days, extraordinary rendition him to Nigeria against international law. Even the arbitrary committee of United Nations told them to release Mazen Nandekano within 6 months, and they refused. Where is justice? Where is the justice? Where is international law? And Finland is sitting on this criminality with Nigeria and jail somebody for self-determination. What a shame. Where are the nations? Where are they?
Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot.
You hear this Boko Haram member? That freedom is an inalienable right. Meaning, you cannot take freedom from anybody. You cannot stop anybody from having his freedom. This is what this Boko Haram vice president of Nigeria is saying. That freedom is our inalienable right. Meaning, nobody can take away your freedom. This is what this Boko Haram leader is saying. But today, they didn't only take the freedom of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they continue to jail him, abuse all his rights. And today, they have again connived with another country in Europe to hijack a freedom fighter fighting for self-determination in Finland and jail him. Where are United Nations? Where are United Nations? Where are the voice of the world? Where are the human rights activists across the world? Where are you? Where are you?
Nigeria, having advocated in 2024 for the independent state of Palestine, should be bold enough to also accept the outcome of the Biafra self-referendum in peace or in pieces.
You've seen that, and you have that. Every single thing that we did was done lawfully. There is nothing that Mazi Simon Ekpa did that he did illegal. He followed the international laws. He followed the international law. He followed everything diligently. There is no way, no place, or anywhere he violated their law. But Nigeria went and cooked up lies with Finland. Today, human rights is at risk. Today, human rights is at risk. The whole world is watching Finland abusing human rights in broad daylight. The unjust trial of Simon Ekpa in Finland. The unjust trial of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Finland. It shows us that human rights is at risk. How can Finland trust Nigeria? With the status of Nigeria, how can Finland trust information coming from Nigeria? Upon which basis does Finland trust Nigeria? Upon which basis? Finland, knowing what Nigeria is and what they can do, and what they have done in the past against Biafrans, and what they continue to do, even as we speak. Upon what are they standing to prosecute Mazi Simon Ekpa up to the extent of pronouncing 6-year jail term? And the lawyer was shameless enough to say, the judges were shameless enough to say that they are taking their judgments based on information gathered from Nigerian authorities. That is an indictment for Finland. It's an indictment for Finland to come out openly and say that their judgment was based on information gotten from Nigerian authorities. Nigerian authorities will know how fraudulent they are. Their case of fraud is on international court. Abuse of human rights is international court. The recruitment of terrorists is international court. So how can any human being, any normal human being, after knowing the status of Nigeria in the world when it comes to human rights, and yet you boldly come out and say that you pass your judgment based on information supplied to you by Nigerian government? This is an abuse of human rights. And the world has to take notice that Finland have written their name bold among the countries that abuse the rights of human. Among the countries that promote injustice, Finland have registered themselves. No sensible country in the planet Earth today. In 2025, there is no country in the world that will rely on information coming from Nigeria. This is Nigeria, whereby when you go out of Nigeria with your document or certificate, you come out and tell people that this is your certificate, you're a graduate of this or that. Nobody will believe you. You cannot take certificate of that obtained in Nigeria and get job anywhere in the world without cross-examination, extraordinary cross-examination. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. In fact, some countries today do not accept documents that come from Nigeria. They don't accept it. So many countries in the world today, they don't accept documents that come from Nigeria. And when you submit any document, they have to scrutinize it over and over again. Then, tell me, upon what did Finland base what gave the Finland that audacity to say that the prosecuting by Simon Ekpa based on information supplied to them by a terrorist government, as pronounced by Canada? We know that Finland is just a small country of yesterday that don't know their left and right, they're still washing their belly. But at least they should have learned from reasonable countries and responsible countries like Canada. They should have learned. For Canada to release that information, that judgment for their court, it speaks volume. It speaks volume. And Finland, human rights activists across the world should be advocating that Finland should be placed among the countries that sponsor terrorism. The countries that abuse human rights, Finland have just registered. All in the name of pursuit for economic interest. Because of economic interest, you lose your conscience. You lose your mind. You lost your mind. You lost your mind. Simply because of the economic interest. You no longer have conscience. Your conscience becomes dead. How long shall we continue to suffer? How long will the world continue to permit double standard against the Africans, more especially Biafrans? How long? This is why our Prime Minister Samuel said that in Biafra, Africa died, and in Biafra, Africa will rise. Anybody on Africa soil, any activity in African soil, and you keep your mouth shut at this evil judgment of Finland, you are only telling us who your paymaster is. And as I said before, this is the time to know who their paymaster is, where people stand. This is when to know them. Anyone that keeps silent, you claim to be an activist and you keep silent at this injustice that is happening, that somebody was sentenced 6 years for self-determination, something that is spelled out in international law, promoted and supported by United Nations, approved by countries of the world, and yet Finland court is sentencing a man for self-determination and say that their sentence is based on information gotten from Nigeria. Who on this planet Earth today believe information that come from Nigeria? What gave Finland the courage to believe information that is coming from Nigeria against their own citizens that lived in their country for almost 30 years or more? Their own citizens that have lived with them for more than 30 years or more. He has no criminal record, not even one. You only begin to indict him of criminal record after he joined Biafra because of the information Nigeria gave you and your own interest, your own economic interest. For many years, he has lived with you in Finland. For many years, he has lived in Finland. He has not committed any crime. There has not been any indictment against him. Nobody has said he has done this or done that. But today, look at what we are seeing. Today, look at what we are seeing. wherever you are as a Biafran. It is not yet over until it is over. And if you are a Biafran and you're not worried, if you are a Biafran, you're not worried. I don't know the kind of Biafran you are. As for those who are celebrating, they are only celebrating their own death. They are only celebrating their own downfall. They are only celebrating what is going to consume them. And when it happens, there will be no place to hide. I don't know why Finland could trust Nigeria so much that they will base their judgment on the information they gave them. I don't know. The truth behind the trial of Simon Ekpa is that it's just for an economic interest. This is a political witch hunting. For economic interest. That's all. There is no other excuse anybody can give why Finland did what they did. But are we going to give up? We will not give up. Never ever. If you think that that judgment will scare us away, you just misfired. That judgment will embolden us the more. That judgment will embolden us the more. The same way the Kidnap of Finland can embolden us. Just watch out. Biafra is going to give birth to something you can never imagine. When you took away Mazen Nandekwa, you never knew that Mazen Samaka was there. You never knew. And today you have taken Mazen Simon Ekpa out. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. I don't know why any human being on this planet today, in a war, we have seen many reports. We have seen many reports. Those of us citizens living abroad that have Nigerian certificate, there is nowhere you will present that certificate and people will not look at it twice. It doesn't matter the number of years you spend in school or your qualification. Once you step out of Nigeria with your certificate, you have to start afresh. You have to undergo another training. You have to undergo another training to be sure that the certificate in your hand belongs to you. Because Nigeria is fraudulent. Very, very fraudulent. A country where the president itself forged a certificate. A country that its president forged a certificate, entered into university as a lady and graduated as a man. Upon what is giving Finland the courage to listen to Nigeria? What kind of intelligence are you going to get from Nigeria, from Boko Haram? From Boko Haram. Nigeria is the only country today that is recruiting terrorists into all arms of forces. They recruit Boko Haram, and they do it in the open, not hidden, so that he wouldn't come here and say we are lying or we're blackmailing them. They do it in the open. When they recruit Boko Haram into their custom, they did it open. When they did it to recruit them into police, they did it open on video. When they recruit them to the army, they did it open. So they are in everywhere. And not only that, somebody have already testified. We saw a testimony of that man that testified that there are members of the Boko Haram in Asorok. They are there in the Senate. They are governors. A testimony from a top official of the government. Let me see if I can see that testimony so that we can play it again. Because some of us forget so easily. We forget. And Finland, seeing all these things, yet you want to trust Nigeria, and you are passing a judgment based on the information that was provided to you by a terrorist government like Nigeria. This is the same government that even Dubai government gave them information. Gave them information about those who are sponsoring terrorism. What did they do? What did they do? What did they do? Instead of them speaking against it or fighting against it, what did they do? They covered them. They protected them. They didn't want anybody to talk about it. They hid it. That is what Nigeria can do. a very terrorist country. That's all I know. I want us to listen to this very program again, where this man spoke about Nigeria. This is the Nigeria that Finland is working with. This is the Nigeria that Finland believe in. I want you to see the Nigeria that Finland is rapporting with. The Finland that is giving Nigeria that is giving Finland intelligence to jail a freedom fighter that is speaking for self-determination. I want you to see the country, how they are. These are the people that gave Finland information that they use against our families. Listen.
What I'm requiring is the removal of the removal of personal in section 24 of the Constitution, section 262, section 277, and section 288, so that other relevant laws like the public, the commercial law, Islamic commercial law, the Islamic company law, the Islamic international law can have a place in the Constitution.
Okay, so that's a background because I remember that bill that was moved on the floor of the House of Representatives on the expansion of certain provisions of Islamic laws. And then there was a lot of uproar in different parts of the country, and so are many not understanding what is going on here. And then, who knows, Mr. Kunyolami, then his narratives, what he has spoken about some time ago, many trying to see if they could connect the dots. But let's listen to this one before we come back to him.
If a fish is going to get spoiled, it's going to start getting spoiled from the head. The DSS will not do anything except the commander-in-chief's body language shows that this is the direction I want to go. That is where the problem is. The DSS has tremendous information. By the time 2023 is here and somebody take over and wants to undo some of this evil that I've seen in this country, you'll be surprised names that the DSS will bring out. They have the information. There's nothing I'm going to say here that they don't have. The defense headquarters have the solution for the kinetic aspect. They do. I'm not going to come here to advise them. I work with them and they're still there. The chief of naval staff was in the intelligence with me. We were together in the Defense Intelligence Agency. That's Vice Admiral Gambo. I know these people are good. They know what to do. It's not that they have problems. It has to do with politics. The sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized. It's not about ransom. I just want to confirm to Marpe that she is right. It's not about ransom. They just want to pass a message. We can come in. We can do what we need to do. And there are some hardliners in this government that are sponsoring this kind of narratives. They just want to show that they can Islamize this country. They think about Taliban. They think about the Mujahideens. And they want to replicate it in this country. And they don't care what happened. They simply don't care. As long as at the end of the day, there's Sharia and there is whatever thing they have in their head and they want to achieve. So these people that are sending messages are sponsored by Nigerians.
The man that is speaking here, Kunle Olumi, this man is a commodore that have fought secret wars for Nigeria. Here, exposing the evil of Nigeria. There was a point where he mentioned that the terrorists are part of the government. And you see him explain. When he said there are people who are sponsoring this jihad in that country. There are people who are pushing them to do what they are doing. There are people who are making sure that the country is Islamized. This man that is speaking is a top security man. This is the country that Finland is supporting. This very agenda is what Mazi Simon Ekpa is stopping. To destroy lives and property and force people into a religion they didn't agree with. This is what Mazi Simon Ekpa is fighting. This is what Mazi Simon Ekpa is defending his people for. But Finland, this is what Finland is supporting. This man mentioned that there are people in the government who are pushing a different agenda. Even though they know what to do, they will never do it. Nothing will make them do it on this earth because of their own secret agenda. This is the people Finland is supporting. These are the people Finland is having to deal with. These are the people that gave Finland the information upon which they jailed our Prime Minister Masamuka. Listen and hear what the guy is saying more.
Well, he's here with us now. That was several years ago. Colonel, former Navy Commander, Professor of Global Security Studies, also Nigerian Defense Academy. Good morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much. After 3 years, we have seen it.
I know several things must have been going through your mind when you saw all of those bills, the propositions, the narrative, the comments making the rounds only recently, even though 3 years after you made that comment. So tell us, what was going through your mind when you saw all of these things are still playing out what you had spoken of earlier?
It just basically confirmed my fears, you know. When I was saying those things, a lot of colleagues didn't like what I was saying. Some people felt that I'm anti-Islam. My dear, I'm from a Muslim background because my grandmother married a Muslim man after the husband died, and all my cousins, all my sisters, grandchildren, they are Muslim. I have a Muslim background. And I don't know, General Adamaza will attest to it that when I took him with the Minister of Defense, to Italy, they were my guests in Italy, and I took them to the largest mosque in Milan, and we prayed together in the mosque. And I think I will tell you, I took him to an Alaska mosque in Israel to pray, and I have nothing against Israel. But you see, we are talking about identity and governance in this country. Identity and governance. It is so discouraging to know that at this century, we are still at this level of religious understanding. We are still at this level where I would say most of the things that we call religion, either Christianity, Islam, are basically some historical books that were plagiarized by most of the religions. I don't want to be specific. Now, these are ancient historical books that were plagiarized, and people decided to use them to either enslave you or take over your land and so on. And I'm really discouraged because at this level, Nigerians are so uneducated when it comes to religion. That the Arabs, the British, the Romans, they use religion actually to capture your state, to enslave you. If we look at most of religions, I don't want to be specific, they all practice slavery and also. So for us to be at this point where we're supposed to be talking about the hunger that is pervasive in Nigeria today, the inflation rate, the poverty, we are basically sitting in the hollow chamber, and what we can discuss is that they want to remove personal from something, and that's what they are going there to do. When people are dying, people are committing suicide, families are collapsing, and they will sit down there and start talking about removing personal, so that they can basically Islamize the country finally, because once you remove that person, technically now Nigeria is Islamized.
All right, I want to be able to get the understanding of that, because the sections that were the place that they were looking for amendments to sections 24, 262, 277, and 288. And what I'm seeing here, Ali Musao, at the time when he suggested these changes, in the 1999 Constitution, removing the word personal whenever it is mentioned from the section, allowing Islamic law to stand on its own. Explain to me the correlation between that and Islamizing the country, just so we can understand where you're coming from on this debate.
Yeah, where I'm coming from is very simple. We may think it's semantic, but it is not. Let's not just talk about issue of marriage, things that are personal, maybe inheritance, maybe divorce, But if you look at the antecedents, Sankara started this by introducing something that is taking care of criminal laws. Okay? So now they want to extend it. Instead of them to actually discuss the 1999 Constitution, it is a fraud already. That Constitution is a fraud. Now what we are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state. And let me tell you something that people don't know. This thing was caused by the British. Between 1900 and 1960, they knew that they cannot govern the North except they allowed them to practice their religion, and they were using their religious leader to basically govern them. It is called indirect rule. Immediately after independence, 1960, the British knew that they should not have forged these two people together. They know. But because they want to achieve the divide and rule and to be able to conquer and take our resources and steal whatever they want to steal over the years, they merged these two people together. They could not govern the North and South under one religious or administration. They know. So they now give independent and merge you people to work together. That was why the 1960 coup started. That was how the Civil War started. Now, 86, Babangida came with OIC stuff, trying to Islamize us. It didn't work. In 2000, when 1999, 2000, when Obasanjo came, he permitted them to start practicing Sharia. Today now, they want to consolidate it. Once you remove that person, all of us, whether you are outside Igbo, Yoruba, Jukun, the Christian, traditional, you are now under the law, the Islamic law, because it's in the Constitution.
Right, listening to the member that was representing Ahoda East, Abu Anudua Federal Constituency, River State, I want to get his words. He said personal matters that was envisaged, he says, by the people who drafted this constitution. And I want to quote him. The implication is, if the word personal is removed, Islamic law would have broader implications. The word personal was put there for a reason. Let's talk a bit about this whole conversation about Islamizing the country with our population and our dynamics. Is it possible that someone can sneak this in at some point and force all of us under some sort of regulation that we do not ascribe to? Is it possible that this can happen in this country?
It is possible, and don't be deceived. It's going to happen. Do you know Constantinople? Today's Turkey.
Did you hear that, man? This man is a top security officer, and he said it is possible. Don't deceive yourself. This is what Finland is supporting. Finland is supporting the Islamization of Nigeria because of economic interest. The same thing that made Britain to merge us together, economic interest. Economic interest. It was because of economic interest. That was why the British took us and merged together with the North, even though they know we have nothing in common. They know there will be no peace. They know there will be no unity. They know we don't love each other. But for their economic interest, they supported them and continue to support them to Islamize. Today, Finland is in the forefront of supporting Islamization of Nigeria. By supporting the atrocities against the Biafrans and jailing somebody who is asking for self-determination. Finland is jailing somebody Finland is ready to jail somebody who is fighting for self-determination, to separate his own self from a forced religion that he doesn't want to be part of. Do you now understand where this is going? Finland, they wouldn't tell me they don't know all this. This man that is speaking here is a very deep top security official of the zoo. Top security official in the zoo, giving this information. You can imagine a country with this kind of ideology, chaos there, giving you information. What information do you think they can give you to make peace or to make people be relevant? The only information they will give you, an information to destroy others and make sure that the agenda of Islamization works. You see the man say it. The presenter asked him, you have diversity, diverse people. Is it possible? Can anyone? The man tells him, don't deceive yourself. It is possible and it will happen. It will happen before you. Today, Finland is sponsoring it, making it to happen by jailing somebody for self-determination. Finland is supporting Islamization for economic interests. They go as far as jailing a human rights activist, a Biafran activist that is fighting for self-determination. They cook up stories with their fraudulent Nigerian, with their fraudulent information, and they cook up all manner of nonsense and they throw at him. You can imagine. Listen to him. This is what Finland is supporting.
They were almost 98% Christian before now. Today, they are an Islamic country. I did Islam in my master's program, and I was trained by Professor Alijan. He's a Persian. He's an Iranian American. And I scored, hey, that's excellent in Islam. So I know them. It may take them 1,000 years to Islamize Nigeria. So they will take it slowly, gradually. They don't forget. All of us will be dead after some time. Our children that don't care, or this Gen Z will come. They will still Islamize this country. If they can do it in Turkey, today's Turkey, what stops you? Why do you think they won't do it here?
Are you hearing that?
Except we take steps now, because we are the ones that are talking about these things. Our next generation in 50 years will not even care.
No.
You understand? So I am thinking that if some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, but I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart and you can do whatever.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That the solution, in terms of solution, the guy said, let the country go apart. Let everybody go their separate ways. This is the same message that Simon Ekpa has. The same message he preached that made them to target a terrorist. That is what this man is preaching. In our own case, our land is under invasion. The military are already enforcing the religion upon us. The military are already in our land, trying to take our land and give to other people. They want to forcefully take our land, which is against the international law. You cannot forcefully take people's land. The same thing the whole world is crying today in other places, in Palestine and other. The same thing is happening in Biafra land today. They are forcefully evicting people from their homes and taking their land. And Simon Ekpa say he will not fold hand and begin to watch until after they have taken their land and bite people. Then he will come and begin to complain. No. He told his people to defend themselves. Protect themselves. That is the only crime I have committed. Then Nigerian government, that terrorist government, cooked up information and handed over to Finland of all people. And today, Finland is in the front of sponsoring terrorism through Nigeria against their own citizen, Master Simon Ekpa, an activist whose only mission is to restore freedom to his people, protect them, secure them. Did you hear what this man said? Do you hear the solution that this man mentioned. Listen to him again.
To their England. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should
listen for the solution.
Organize themselves. Or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do
let the country go apart
in your area.
let the country go apart.
I don't think we can stay together because of this.
Did you hear that? I don't think we can stay together. Let the country go apart. This is just the same message that man Simon. Must I speak the way you speak? Our situation and the situation of the Yorubas are not the same. Our situation and the situation of this man is not the same. Our feelings are the feelings of this man. Is not, our expression is not the same. Is it not the same thing that this man is expressing that Mazi Samoko expressed? The same expression was what Mazi Samoko was doing. And today, Mazi Simon Ekpa is jailed because of self-determination. And the whole world is silent. The whole world is silent. Where is the United Nations Arbitrary Committee that gave Nigeria ultimatum to release Mazi Nnamdi? Where are they? What are they saying about this very verdict of Finland? What are they saying? We are waiting for the international community to weigh in. We are waiting to hear what the Arbitrary Committee of the United Nations will say about this unjust judgment against our Prime Minister for self-determination. You heard this man say it, that we cannot live together. We cannot. We have to go our separate ways as the only solution.
A strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. Imposing it on others is wrong. I study Islam, and I don't want to talk blasphemy here. If I start talking about Islam in the next 3 hours, we will not live here.
No, we don't want you to talk blasphemy either. Talking about our country, in many, we are not a religious country, so to on paper. We're a secular nation. What kinds of conversations should we be having with the Nigerian people, especially the younger generation, about how to ensure that we remain secular, where you can practice your religion in any part of the country that you please without imposing your views or belief systems on any other person? What kind of conversations should we be having? And what should our lawmakers be thinking at the back of their minds? At least they've made the first step, which is dropping this bill and ensuring that it doesn't go through. But in subsequent conversations that you said will inevitably come up, what should we be doing as a people to ensure this doesn't happen?
I'm going to be extreme. For me, if you look at Sudan, we have now North Sudan, South Sudan. I think we should have Northern Nigeria and Southern. Then they can practice whatever they want. There's no dialogue because they will not.
You see, they asked this man, what will they do? The man say it in ABC. Separate South and North. The man say, break it up. You see, when some of them, in their own, when they come to this conventional media, they try to use grammar to paint it. We know the painter now. We don't paint word. We say it the way it is. We say it the way it is. We don't make you to be happy or make you not to be offended. No. What this man is saying is break up. That the only solution is break up. That is nothing you can do. Nothing. This is a man who told you that he have studied Nigeria. He was a commodore in Nigerian army. Top secret service. This man you are seeing. A top secret service. What this man know about Nigeria? Is it what they told Finland? If a secret officer know these things and they told that Finland, upon what we give that Finland the conscience and the audacity to begin to jail as Simon Ekpa, who is trying to protect his people from this very atrocity that this man is revealing. Mazi Simon Ekpa is trying to protect the Biafran from the atrocity this man is exposing here. You can imagine. And Finland have the audacity to pronounce a sentence on the man who is fighting to secure his people.
Not stop. I told you it may take 1,000 years. They will still do it. But if you let everybody go their way, maybe you have enough. They remain there and you have the sovereignty down south. Then you can do what you want. But if you remain and you think you can talk to your Jersey and people that don't care about anything, it will happen. It took hundreds of years before Turkey, Constantinople, Istanbul was converted completely today. And if you look at history will tell you that you cannot assuage these people. Who owns those banks? I did a lot of research, and I want our audience to go and find out the owner of Taj Bank and the other bank. Then the picture will start getting clear to you. You have the Jaiz Bank and you have the Taj Bank. It is an open source information. Go on the internet, the board of directors, you will see the shareholders. I don't want to mention them on national television. Go and do your research, and you're beginning to understand. You begin to understand what I said, that people are sponsoring terrorism because they want to Islamize Nigeria. Now Tinubu has come, and it's a little bit very hard on them. That section, the collective approach is failing. So they are now trying to bring it through the constitution, or to legalize it. If we cannot go through the bush and kill as many people, and they are still resisting us, and this man has come and is fighting this is just killing all the fighters, then let us go to the house and bring it in through the back door. We just remove that clause, personal. They will not know, they will not pay attention, they will just, and that is it. They will still do this thing. Go and find out the owners of those banks. They are the ones sponsoring these narratives. And I always say it on television, who are the sponsors. Those guys speaking in the house, they are just paid to do that. And with time, they're going to bribe the remaining ones, and they will pass it. If not this year, it may be 10 years time. If it's not 10 years time, it may be 50 years, they are going to Islamize this country. But I think the solution, what we should discuss with people should try to understand we are not the same people. The North and South are not the same. The British understood. That's what we are doing in Direct, and they deliberately march on so that we can continue to fight like this, and they can continue to take our resources away.
Speaking about the British, there are several theories out there.
You have just heard it. This is the country that Finland is supporting. This is small history of the country that is feeding Finland with information. You can imagine which responsible country we work with information that is coming from a country like this. These are what Canada saw, and Canada gave them the blow and told them what they are. A terrorist country. That's what they are. But you see how this man, who called himself what I don't know, Alex Top or whatever, you see how Finland have disgraced themselves.
Sentenced a controversial leader of a Nigerian secessionist movement to 6 years in prison.
I want us to listen to this. Let's hear this. Let's hear this. Let's hear this and hear what Dr. Mozanga has to say. This is another thing, because the issue of Nigeria is before everybody. Anyone that claims he doesn't know the situation of Nigeria and what Nigeria is doing, you are only deceiving yourself. Anyone that claims that he doesn't know, he has not seen, you are only deceiving yourself. You are deceiving yourself. And as you're deceiving yourself, we will not allow you to drag us into your deception. So because you have chosen to deceive yourself, we will not also allow you to deceive us. We will not allow you to deceive us. If you choose to deceive yourself, that is your business. You go ahead with your deceit, and you face the consequence. I want us to listen to this. Let us hear what Dr. Mazanga has to say. It's another important information. Let's hear Dr. Mazanga.
Sentenced a controversial leader of a Nigerian secessionist movement to 6 years in prison. What is his offense according to the law?
There is no offense. How do you look here? Madam, these people are simply saying Biafra, Nigeria is no more. And they have the right in Europe to say so. Two, Nigerian system itself has said they don't, the court relied on intelligence from Nigeria. Asanda, which Nigerian intelligence can give you the credibility? It's corrupt and it's funded, compromised by terrorists. They have recruited the terrorists in intelligence system. So the information, Finland collapsed in its own democratic format. When it said it relied on Nigeria's intelligence information, anybody can come up and say, Asanda is doing this, that. Do you go and use that intelligence? Finland is one country that is now changing from proper democratic institutions to being corruptly entering Africa by paying huge sums to get contracts. Finland has been given contracts with Nigeria. Nigeria has given them to build dams, gas pipelines, and so many dispensaries. They are corrupt. They just wanted to get this guy to appease the Nigerian government. If you look at the evidence, I've read the entire evidence of why the three judges came to a conclusion. I bet if it was in the South African court, it would be thrown out on the first day. There is no judgment where you say you use the intelligence, Nigerian intelligence, when Nigeria itself has terrorists, part of the intelligence system in Nigeria. They are terrorists, and they have admitted, they have recruited some. So which intelligence information did they use? I'm telling you, that sentence is going to be quashed by the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. It will be quashed. That I will walk out free.
So what now then for Simon Ekpa, this Finnish citizen of Nigerian descent, must he go the human rights route, as you say?
I want to tell you, originally, these people wanted to kidnap this man quietly at night. Thanks God, people started going to European court somewhere, and volunteers stopped it and told Finland that you are in trouble. We know what you are doing. They wanted to take him to, without even going through the court. This man is a Finnish. Is a Finnish citizen. He has been in Finland for over 30 years. Why do you take him? What has he done? He's simply saying Nigeria needs to be rearranged. All of us in Africa know that Nigeria has collapsed. All of us in Africa know there is no administration in Nigeria. All of us know that Nigeria is a country without a country and a state without a state. Governance has collapsed. And these people are simply saying, can we rearrange Nigeria and go away? It's like what I have told you about the Congo. Biafrans are over 80 million people out of 250. There are people killing people there. There are terrorists coming down their time and they take over your house, take over your farm, feed on your food, kill your people. They are there. It is happening. And African Union has not said anyone. United Nations Security Council has not said anyone. United Nations habitually sentenced Nigeria to a country which has abducted the people, killed the people, and if you have such reports, how can you sentence a man?
Now you have heard it. That was Dr. Mazanga speaking. And his words are very strong. And there is one statement he made there that caught my attention. There is one important statement that Dr. Mazanga made that really, really, really caught my attention. If you can remember, there was a time our Prime Minister told us about the plan to kidnap him from Finland. If you can remember. Do any one of you remember when our Prime Minister made a program and he said Nigerian government are making attempts to kidnap him? They made an attempt to kidnap him, it didn't work, they made an attempt to assassinate him. So all this while, we never knew that Finland was part of it. But because Mazi Simon Ekpa was able to establish himself and many human rights activists are aware, Mazi Simon Ekpa was able to reach out to many human rights activists and they begin to write letters to European Union. They begin to fire to European Union. Eyes were there. They could not carry out the operation. They could not carry out the operation. So all this while, when our Prime Minister was crying, telling us what he's going through and what he's suffering, we never knew that Finland was part of that plot. You just heard Mazanga say it, that they plan to kidnap him. And our Prime Minister made a broadcast that Nigerian government wanted to kidnap him. They made the first attempt, second attempt, before he began to shout and make programs, and then voices began to tell people, and he had. They even made an attempt to assassinate him, up to 3 or 4 times. There was even the time he was told not to go to certain places, don't go to certain areas. So we never knew. Now everything is becoming very clear. With this judgment, when they have seen that kidnap cannot work in Europe, kidnapping him from Europe cannot work, they pass through another door to kidnap him through the court. What you are seeing today is a kidnap through the court. They kidnap Simon Ekpa through their court. That is why they came boldly. And somebody that is fighting for self-determination, you are giving him 6 years jail for fighting for self-determination. And just as Dr. Makanga said, we are going to fight this case to the last. Appeal will be going to everywhere, to international courts, to European court, to Finland High Court, every one of them. They will have a test of it. We are going to test it. Let me see how self-determination is a crime. How any court will say they relied on the information coming from the same terrorist country, a terrorist government, the same government that is seeking to take the life of Mazi Simon Ekpa, the same government that kidnapped our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are giving you information and you are relying on the information they give you. Madness. Their basis of sentence or accusation against Mazi is baseless. Nigeria that have everything about it is terror. A country that has already failed. A failed country. And yet, some people continue to pretend it is going to work. Up to the extent of supporting lies, supporting propaganda, supporting blackmail against innocent people. This is what we see every now and again. Who in his right senses in this world will like to associate himself with Nigeria? Who? The only people that continue to pay themselves with Nigeria and work with Nigeria are those who are coming from a terrorist world too. Those who are part of the terrorism. Those who are interested in terrorizing others.
Zuckerberg came to Nigeria this year, 2025, and once again, he saw the...
Let us watch this one. This is the Nigeria that Finland is listening to. I want you to see the Nigeria that Finland is listening to and tell me, how can any sensible person be working with this kind of a country? How? How can any reasonable country we have any deal or take information that is coming from a country like this very one we are talking about? I want you to listen to this one, another report about the Zoological Republic.
Mark Zuckerberg came to Nigeria this year, 2025, and once again, he saw their greatest problem, electricity power failure. And while he was with Kuno Athletic, a filmmaker, the power suddenly went off. Mark Zuckerberg was so shocked because he had never been in a country where there is a lack of electricity. At first, he was afraid, thinking that Nigerian Yahoo boys wanted to kidnap him because he has always banned their Facebook accounts whenever they tried to use it for fraud. So here's the proof of the video.
We couldn't afford to use the mainstream television or radio in the UK, but everybody was on Facebook, at that time, and this really, helped. And this is Nigeria.
You can imagine.
That's part of it.
Nigeria is a
You can imagine.
great country.
That was Mark Zuckerberg in Nigeria. In Nigeria, as he was talking and speaking, they took light. Light went off, kuro, and he thought it was Yahoo boys that wanted to kidnap him. You can imagine. Who in his right senses will be part of that kind of
So
country?
many talented people who, if brought together, can make the country great, but the level of corruption in the government is now causing these talented citizens to lose hope, and it pushes them into fraud. Nigeria must understand that these citizens are only trying to survive by all means. We therefore advise Nigeria to work on their electricity. Nigeria should fix their electricity, making it 24 hours in all states to take the country out of darkness.
This week, you can imagine. In 21st century, we are hearing this nonsense. A country that can never work, continue to bring disgrace to its people at every given opportunity. And some people think it's Uhuru. I pity all of them. Finland have just registered their name in one of the oppressions of freedom in the world. One of the greatest oppressions of the first country to jail in Europe, to jail somebody for self-determination. They have made a record for themselves. And we will never forget. I will not forgive. And as for those Biafrans who stupidly continue to rejoice, they think it's about Mazi Simon. It is not. It has nothing to do with Mazi Simon. It is about you. You that is watching me. That sentence you saw is about you. Both of you, those of you living in America, living in Europe and whatever. More especially people living in Europe. And you are there, you are rejoicing, you are happy. Your own time is coming. The most shameful thing is that you say you love Mazi Nandekan. You say you love Mazi Nandekan and you see somebody being jailed, doing exactly the same thing Mazi Nandekan was doing. The person who was doing exactly what Mazi Nandekan was doing in Europe. And today they jail him and you are clapping, you are laughing. May God have mercy on you. I appreciate everyone that have been with us on this very program. I thank you for being part of the program. We have to stop it there. And tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, we can come for our morning program. Today, we could not have a morning program because of some other issues we are taking care of. So let's see how tomorrow is going to be. If you have not shared the program, try and share it. And I hope to see you tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu Kabiyama. Thank you so much for being part of the program. May Chukwu Kabiyama guide and protect every one of you. May Chukwu Kabiyama secure you. May Chukwu Kabiyama give you more wisdom, knowledge, understanding. I pray for our leaders, Mazi Simon Ekpa and Mazi Nandekan. May Chukwu Kabiyama continue to be with them, continue to protect them, continue to secure them. Give them more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Secure them. No evil shall befall them. They will be free and they will join us very soon. Thank you so much for being part of this program. See you tomorrow.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Herdsmen, they kill us every day, for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Who be that? I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jealous. Something on the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Rebel the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot.